Oh, hey everybody, we are about to start. This is Darren here. Let's just check I've got everything switched on. Yeah, first of all, if you could just let me know very quickly if you can see me and hear me. A quick yes in the question box. Yes, see and hear. Yeah, okay, all working well, good. And for those of you new to this monthly crypto update, welcome. Very briefly, what's going to happen is I'm just going to do a kind of quick overview, what's going on in the crypto markets. We'll have a look at a few of the main cryptocurrencies, do a bit of analysis, have a look at the charts. And then sometimes I'll talk about a tool or talk about the news or talk about something relevant to the crypto market and what's going on. So that's the plan. And by the way, if you're in the UK, I hope you're enjoying this beautiful summer that we're having at the moment. Very hot here, but welcome to everybody, because I know we've got people from all over the world on today. So let's go straight into this. Oh, first of all, let me do my little disclaimer at the start. I've got to remember to do this. And I should, I'm going to also, so I can see my full screen, I'm going to switch my camera off. I just want to say hello to everybody. I will now switch my camera off so I can see my full screen. And I'm still here, but okay, here we go. So first of all, quick disclaimer at the start. This presentation is purely for educational purposes. I'm not giving specific buy or sell advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. You need to make your own decision on what's right for you and seek additional advice if needed. Particularly with crypto investments, you could lose everything you invest. Make sure you are only investing money you could afford to lose. Any crypto tokens shown in this talk are for educational purposes only. All important stuff. I always try and remember to do that right at the start. Cryptocurrencies, yeah, of course, they are higher risk. You can also make huge amounts of money from them if you get them right. But you need to know what you're doing, and I'd say only put in part of your portfolio. And of course, do your research, make your own decisions on this. With that said, let's have a look at this, because crypto investing can be really great when you get it right. So actually, first of all, what I thought I'd do is start off with I was going to show you a tool, a website, which is one which is quite useful, and I don't think I've mentioned it before on one of these sessions. So I thought it'd be nice just to show you this. It's called, well, there's the web address for you up in the top here, tokenterminal.com. Oh, actually, I better share my screen. So lots of people saying share your screen. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you can, let me just double check with everybody that you can now see my screen. So if you type in, yeah, okay, there we go. Just a quick yes if you can see my screen. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, sorry about that, forgot to switch on at the start. So all working now. Yeah, this website here, tokenterminal.com, it lets you do a nice bit of research, kind of fundamental research on cryptocurrencies. And I think I've shown you one in one of the previous month's sessions, a different fundamental analysis site. But this one, again, it's free and it is really fun, and there's some useful stuff on here. So I thought I'd talk through very quickly the kind of things you can do. First of all, if you go to projects, you can get this great big drop-down list, and they've got tons and tons of crypto projects on there. If we take a big one, let's go with, let's have a look for, okay, let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, I click on it, and it's now going to bring me up all the info on Ethereum. And I'll talk through very quickly some of the interesting or useful things. You can see at the top here, the kind of snapshot of what's going on. Ethereum, what's happened over the last 24 hours, 3.5% increase. Over the last 7 days, over the last 30 days, a 43% increase. Over those last 100 days, 45% decrease. Yeah, so you get a nice quick overview of what's been going on. You can see the all-time high, you can see the all-time low. It's quite nice when you hover over these things, it does tell you what it stands for, what you're actually looking at. And then there's a whole load of other stuff here, like total revenue. And again, if I'm not sure what they mean by total revenue, when I hover over it, it says total transaction fees paid in the past 30 days. So that would be user transaction fees for trading Ethereum. And I can have a look at all these different statistics. And as you scroll down the page, you can bring up charts, not just for like you normally have. You normally have a price chart. There we go. So there's the price chart for Ethereum. That's 180 days. So that's 6 months. I could go to 7 days, or I could go to 30 days. And it's not the best price chart. I prefer to use something like TradingView for the charts, but you can get charts of lots of other things, which you can't get on quite a few other websites. So I could look at circulation, market cap, look at a chart of the market cap, which it could be quite interesting. I could look at total revenue, fees paid by users. I can look at the PE ratio. I can look at charts of all different things, and I can compare them with each other. I can bring them up side by side. So it's quite a nice feature, which you can't get that kind of information on quite a lot of crypto websites. And if we scroll down a bit further, revenue, okay, and again, it will explain what it is. It's the total revenue, fees paid, and I can bring up the charts on revenue for particular cryptos. And let me just see. Oh, and this is also quite a nice feature where you can bring up other cryptocurrencies side by side and compare the charts. So you can have them kind of overlaid on top of each other. You can add a chart onto here. And so if I add, I'm not sure if Bitcoin's on there already, but I'm going to add it in if it isn't. Okay, now it's added Bitcoin on there. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm looking at lots of different charts here and comparing them all at the same time, which is quite interesting as well. And then this bit at the bottom here, this is what they call their data table. And this is quite a cool feature, particularly when you're like researching or looking for a type of crypto investment you want to get into. It's a table with all these different kind of statistics along the top. And the nice feature is when you click on any of these, it will sort by that column. So if I want to see which cryptocurrencies has the biggest 24-hour change, I can click on it and, okay, click on it again. There we go. There's the biggest 24-hour change, which was the graph, whatever that is. Never heard of it. And if I wanted to see the one that had gone down the least, I click on it and it will show me the biggest drop in 24 hours. This is the cryptocurrencies that this website covers, which is a lot. They've got a lot of cryptos on here. There might be a few that aren't on here, but it's pretty decent. I could look at the 7-day trend, which has gone up the most in 7 days. Wow, that's a crazy increase, 3,000% increase in 7 days. And I can also rank by P ratio, PS ratio, and again, if you don't know what it is, have a look and it tells you the description. I can look at market cap, circulating market cap, fully diluted market cap. It's a nice feature, and it's free. It's free to do this, yeah. So it's a pretty neat tool. That's tokenterminal.com. You might want to have a look at that, have a play around with it. So anyway, that's my quick kind of bit, giving you an extra tool at the start. Let's have a look at, let's do a bit of analysis of the main cryptocurrencies. And the website I'm using, I've just gone to Binance.com, and then I've opened their chart, the TradingView chart. It's really good. It's got a lot of features, and it's quite powerful. And it's free again, so it's a nice chart to use. So we're looking at Bitcoin, BUSD here. So basically, this is a chart of Bitcoin, and I like to look at about 12 months worth of data, because so a year's worth of data. You can see the months along the bottom there, because that gives you a nice kind of overview of what's going on. And if you then want to zoom in a bit to see what's happening more recently, then yeah, do that as well, but get an overview first of all. So those of you who've been on a few of these monthly webinars, you know what's going on if you're following cryptos. So we had this massive spike up in Bitcoin. This was back in kind of November, and then it plummeted down, went sideways, dropped even further, and we're back down here now, around about this level. And which is about, well, it's bounced back up recently, which we'll talk about in a second. But we had the big drop down, went sideways for a while, and now cryptocurrencies in general have started going back up. And if you were on the crypto webinar last month, you will have remembered I was talking about this, and I said, yeah, cryptos have dropped a long way. We might now get a bounce back up. And I said the whole stock market might also now do a bounce back up. And it did pretty much exactly what we were talking about. It then bounced back up. Stock market did, and cryptos bounced back up. Now, the question is this the big bounce? Is it now going to be heading right back up to these highs up here? Personally, I think it's not going to. Again, my personal opinion. But I think this is going to be just a short-term bounce. How far is it going to get? it might get back up to the kind of 28,000, 30,000 level. If it got back up to that level, I'd say highly likely it's going to pause and possibly drop back down, because what's happening at the moment is the main cryptocurrencies are following what the stock market does, and the stock market is currently bouncing back up. And I don't think this is the big turnaround in the stock market. I think there's further to drop in the stock market. I think personally, I think a recession is coming. The stock market is going to drop a lot further, even though it's bouncing back up at the moment. And when the stock market turns and starts to drop, cryptocurrencies will start to drop as well, or they'll continue to drop, I should say, as they have been dropping for a while. So I think this is probably a kind of shortish bounce. How far back up is it going to bounce? My guess would be, because obviously nobody knows, but my guess would be it's probably, it might get to 30,000. That would be quite nice if it does. I mean, if it got back up to that level, kind of 40,000, wow, that would be, that'd be great. If it got to that level, I would then expect it to stop and drop again. But yeah, we might get a 30,000 level hit before it starts to turn and go back down. Anyway, as I said, that's my opinion. Make up your own mind on that, what you think is going to happen. But I do think it's going to follow the stock market. Let's just do a kind of little sidebar and have a look at the stock market, just so I can show you what I'm talking about. We're then going to come back to cryptocurrencies and go through all the main cryptos. So if I'm just going to go over to my other charts here, and thank you, antivirus or whatever you are, for doing my update. Okay, let's shut that down. And okay, not now. And let's go to here. Okay, and this, I'm just going to have a quick look at the whole US market just to show you what I was talking about. And okay, it's thinking about it. I'm not sure if it did anything there. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. And let's go full screen, shut that down, and let's go to S&P 500. No, I didn't actually want that. I want a different list. Let's go to there. There we go. And actually, I'm going to look at the SPX, the S&P 500, which is just there and almost there. Okay, that will do. So this is the whole US stock market. And if I zoom out a bit, like so, you can see this is now over. That's 2020. That's 2022. So that's over about 3 years we're looking at there. So you can see this huge move up in the stock market. S&P 500, by the way, is the biggest 500 companies in America. So huge move up in the stock market, drops back down. And then recently we've had this big bounce back up just here. And I'm going to zoom back in again so you can see this. So this is over the last kind of 6 weeks, going up, going up, going up. And it's now the main US market is right at this peak here, which we call a resistance level, which is where it might stop. It might stop and drop. And if it does, I reckon it will take crypto down with it as well. So possibly we're going to get a drop fairly soon in the crypto market. But the alternative is it breaks through there and it heads up to the next level, which would be up here. And then crypto will probably head up to the next level as well. Yeah. So you kind of want to be watching the stock market as well if you're crypto investing. So that's kind of my quick, I'll show you one last chart before we go back to crypto. Let's go to the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ is the technology market, US, main technology companies. And same thing, huge move up, big drop down. But something a bit interesting or slightly different with the technology market is here's that resistance level that we saw on the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ technology market has broken through it. And quite often what will happen is one market will lead the other market. And if the technology market managed to break through here and go up, you might find that the S&P also manages to break through here and go up a bit further. So maybe it is going to be heading up to a higher level, which could be a good sign for the crypto market as well. Short term, we might get another bit of a step up on the crypto market. But yeah, keep an eye on what's happening with the stock market as well. So back to cryptocurrencies. This is so we just had a quick look at Bitcoin. Let's zoom in a bit. We can see that there were these kind of support levels back here. Let me just bring this up If I get a horizontal line there, okay, there we go. So it broke that level, and then we've got a massive drop down. And when you get a level like this where it's bounced quite a few times, so there once, twice, here it hovered around that level a lot. We had one drop down, but for the rest of the time it hovered around that level. When it finally broke it decisively, we got a huge drop down. Now, when cryptos get back up to that level, it's quite likely they will stop there. Quite likely they'll come back down again. So 30,000 level, that's going to be pretty important for Bitcoin. And it is heading back up quite nicely. And let me just grab another trend line here, and I'll draw this in like this. So we're getting this kind of little trend going up here. It's bouncing off the trend line just there quite nicely. If I zoom in a bit, got to remember how I zoom in on this. I think 2 fingers together. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no, pull 2 fingers apart. There we go. So there we go, trending up quite nicely like this. And yeah, I mean, it looks fine. I could just have a quick look at one of the indicators here. Anybody who's done my training, my 4-day training, you should know this. But there's a few nice indicators we might want to look at. Oh, by the way, for people who are new to this charting trading view, to bring up an indicator, you can just go up to here, just there, technical indicators, and now you can search for whatever you want to search for. I'm going to bring up RSI, Relative Strength Index, and they always bring it up with something like crazy settings that are useless, so you've got to change the settings. This is RSI, one of the indicators I like to use, Relative Strength Index. First of all, the plot, make it a color you can see is useful. So let's have it white. Oh, no, that looks gray to me. We want it, I see why it looks gray. They've only got it on 65%. Okay, then you get 100%, that looks better. So I've got a nice clear line, upper limit. For RSI, the way I use it is I only use one line, which I want it at 50%. And I'm just gonna make that again so you can see it clearly. Let's have it as red. Let's have it as a solid line. There we go. I don't want a lower limit. I don't want a background to it. Precision is fine, default. Length, RSI 21. That's the setting I use. So there we go. I've set it all up nicely now. So just from years and years of testing, like many years of testing, I know that this is the setting that tends to give the best signals, the way I just set that up. And on the training course, I gave you my summary sheet of all the indicators and all the settings, so you should have this already. If you haven't done my training course yet, do my training course. No, I'll tell you the settings as we go through. But that's it for this RSI. And the way we'd use this is if it's above the red line, that's a good signal. That means it's strong. It's actually a buy signal when it breaks above the red line. And can you see the first time it broke above the red line was just there. And that was just as it started this trend going up. So it's a pretty nice time to get the signal here. And it's now trending up. The indicator's above the red line, meaning it's strong, still going up. Looks good, yeah. Everything's looking good at the moment. So Bitcoin uptrend. I reckon that kind of level, 28 to 30,000, is where you might get a bit of a pause, a bit of a drop back down, unless the market drops before then. So let's have a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum, there's the big news coming. We've been waiting for a technical development in Ethereum for quite a time, which has been announced now, and I try to remember the date. I think it's September that it's happening. And you can read the story. It's kind of a big news story. Well, not news, big technical change in Ethereum. And people have been waiting for this to happen for quite some time, and it's happening. I think they said September now. And it's generally good news for Ethereum. And Ethereum has gone up a lot since the announcement was made. And it could go up a lot more. If the whole market drops, it will still get taken down with the market, but it's generally looking good for Ethereum at the moment. If we compare it to Bitcoin, let me just go back out a bit here. So there we go. So back in July, we had this kind of support level here, and you can see Bitcoin is still way below that level. Bitcoin is far below this level. Still got quite a way to go. And then we have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's already there. It's already back up at July levels. Yeah, so it's way stronger than Bitcoin at the moment, and still heading up. Yeah, so looking good. Definitely looking stronger than Bitcoin, and there are some good valid reasons for that. So let's carry on. BNB. So this is Binance Coin. Also looking strong. Same chart here. There's the July lows. Broken above it quite nicely, very strongly actually. Huge move up here. So looking good, looking very strong. Nice trend up. Possibly even stronger than Ethereum. It's looking really good. Yeah, BNB. So I'm doing a very fast analysis here. I'm just looking. We try and keep this session to about half an hour, so I'm checking I'm on time. But I think we've got time to go through all of these. And we're now looking at Ripple. And what I'm doing, I'm looking at the top 10 cryptos by market cap. Yeah, so these are the biggest cryptocurrencies that I'm looking at. And when people ask me, well, what cryptocurrency should I invest in? Again, remember my disclaimer at the start, make your own decisions and all of that stuff. But personally, what I would do is focus on the biggest cryptos. Top 10 market cap is good. The biggest ones, because it's less risky. I mean, cryptos are all fairly risky in general, but it's less risky and less volatile. The crazy moves aren't as crazy, I should say. And if you don't know what the top 10 market cap are, or you want to keep an update on it, just go to coinmarketcap.com. Get rid of that x.com. Okay, there we go. Oh no, I've typed that in wrong. Okay, there we go. Coin market cap, and there you go. It's got the top. It just lists the cryptocurrencies by market cap. Or you could even use the website that I was just showing you, the token terminal. But coin market cap, I'd say, for looking specifically for the biggest cryptos, is probably the better way to do it because they have everything on here. And you just go down: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether. Well, that's just a USD stable coin, so you're not going to use that. That's just matching the dollar. USDC is also another stable coin, so you're not going to be using that. That's just matching the dollar. But you get the idea. You just go down, pick out the top 10 market cap. So where were we? That was BNB. Oh, okay. So Ripple we're looking at. Not so strong. Yeah. There's the July lows. It hasn't got very close to it. It is going up a bit, but not as nicely as Ethereum, not as nicely as BNB. So if we have a look at BNB, huge move up, nice and strong trend up. Ripple, yeah, not so good. It's kind of going sideways. It's going up, but it's fairly gradual compared to the other cryptos we looked at, and it's not back at those July highs yet. So Cardano, yeah, again similar. It's going up, not as much, not as steeply. It's okay. It's just going up with the market. Yeah, not as strong as some of the other things we've seen. Solana, similar thing. It's not even trending up as much. It's even almost going sideways here. You can see those last two peaks are about level at that stage. It is above the July lows here just because it went up massively, but the trend up here isn't massive at the moment. Even if I zoom in here, you can see it's pretty much going sideways at the end here, so not super strong. Now looking at Polkadot, yeah, fairly decent. I mean, it's going up, not as rapidly as some of the others that we've seen, but there's definitely a bit of an uptrend at the end there. Looks okay. There's the kind of July lows, fairly close to that. We've got the Dogecoin, meme coin. I put, if you were looking to have like a diverse, nice portfolio of cryptocurrencies, I probably wouldn't include Doge because it doesn't have great utility. Personally, I wouldn't include it in a nice varied portfolio of big cryptos, I dropped this one. And you can see on the chart as well, it's not looking great anyway. It's just kind of sideways, not even trending up much. And what do we got here? We've got Avalanche. Looks good, looks pretty strong, yeah? You can see way above the July highs, trending up, really nice strong trend at the end here. Out of all the cryptos we looked at, looking quite a bit stronger. And by the way, for all of these cryptocurrencies, if you want to be following the news, all different ways to do it. CoinMarketCap will give you news on what's going on particular cryptocurrencies. You can look at, if you've got news on your iPhone, on the stock app, you can just add a cryptocurrency. So you can add Ethereum, and it will just tell you any news that comes out on Ethereum and it'll update you on the main headlines. I'm pretty sure you can do almost the same thing on Android, on the stock app or the investment app there as well. Or you could go to, I'm just thinking, I mean, that's a couple of good places for keeping up to date on the news. But any of the previous news sites I mentioned on cryptos as well, you can look up and see what's going on any particular crypto you're interested in. And Polygon, it was really strong, this big move up here, kind of leveling out a little bit, which you'd expect after such a huge move up. Pretty decent, yeah. And this last little bit, it has leveled out a little bit, but it did do a really big move. So looks quite nice. So we've now been, let me just switch my camera back on. We've been going for about half an hour there. So I think my camera's up. Oh, there we go. I'm back again. So let's kind of try and do an overall summary here. Let me bring the chart back up. Oh, let me put it back down again. My camera keeps disappearing for me. There we go. Let's put that back up, and yeah, that's fine. So overall summary. Crypto has been dropping for quite a time. We've had this bounce back up. It could go a bit higher. It's pretty much going to depend on what happens with the stock market. If the stock market drops from here, I reckon all cryptos will drop as well. So you want to be watching what's going on with the stock market. And the stock market looks like it might go up a bit further. It is at a kind of resistance level. It's like at the first resistance level where it might drop. If it can properly get past it, then it will step up to the next level. Crypto will probably step up to the next level. So we're at a kind of important stage where you really got to be watching what's happening, yeah? You might get this next kind of nice jump up in crypto and stock market, but it might also be the place where it has hit this level and it starts to do a big drop down. So be ready is what I'd say. Either big move up, big move down coming fairly soon. I think we might get another step up, which would be nice. But then if we do get this next step up in the stock market, in the crypto markets, personally, I'd be ready to take some profits out of a lot of stuff, because I think the big recession is still coming, the big stock market crash is still coming, and it's going to take crypto down again. So yeah, be ready for that. And oh, we got like a couple of minutes left. Well, we don't. We're actually already on time, but the last couple of minutes. For those of you following my cryptocurrency, Afrostar, of course, we got hit by the big crypto crash and we dropped, and we've now gone up a little bit, but not massively. The big part of it is the development of the copy trading app and all of the stuff that we're developing for the utility of the coin, and that's coming on really well. I've actually seen a lot of these screens now for our copy trading app. I've got 2 teams of developers working on this, and we've got some nice screens being worked on, and they're all coming together, looking great. Hopefully we'll have the beta to be able to show some of you and maybe even get some of you giving us feedback and testing. And when it comes out, when the copy trading app comes out and is released, that's when I would expect to start getting some really nice big price increase in the coin, in the token. So those of you who've been holding, thank you for your support on that. I personally bought $150,000 worth of my token, which I'm still holding. So I still really believe in this project, and we're doing all the development, making it all happen, and yeah, it'll be exciting once we launch it and it all takes off. I'm really looking forward to that. But thank you for all of you supporting that project as well. So I'd say Oh, for those of you who aren't normally on the next webinar, I have another webinar starting in 30 minutes time, a stock market webinar. It's going to be the same kind of thing, 30 minutes just on stock market investing, where I'm going to be looking at the markets. I'm going to be going through lots of charts, doing some analysis, finding up-to-date trades. If you want to be on the stock market webinar, yeah, by all means join that as well. And I don't know the link for that. Let me just, if you bear with me 1 second, I'm going to try and find you the link for that, which I should have over here. And yeah, by the way, you're going to need, if you want to be on the next webinar, if you got onto this webinar today, congratulations, because we always get massively oversubscribed for this. If you can see here, I had 6,479 people registered for this event, and we hit the max capacity almost immediately when I start the event. So well done if you managed to get a place on that. And so here we go. This is the monthly webinar. We've got almost 4,500 people registered for that. And I'm going to find you the link here, which it will max out within the first few seconds of the webinar starting. So if you want to be on it, just join quickly, like immediately. I'm going to put this in the question window for you if you don't already have this. So this is the link for the stock market webinar, which I'm going to send to everybody, and I'm going to put it in the chat window as well. So there we go, and I'm going to send that to everybody. If you want to be on that, that's the link. Register now. Starts in about 25 minutes time. I ideally log on a couple of minutes early, because if you don't, you won't get on. It will be maxed out straight away. So, okay, oh, one last thing, kind of a personal thing, I guess. I'm about to go on my summer vacations, and I'm going to South America. If anybody has any good tips on South America, I would love to hear them. I'm going to Chile, Peru, Brazil, and Argentina. Any good advice, any good tips, type it into the question window. I would really appreciate that. I'm trying to work out where to go and what to do, and I think I've got a pretty nice itinerary set up, but if you've been there or you know there or you live there, yeah, any advice would be much appreciated. So I'll leave the question box up for a couple of minutes there. If you think of anything, type it in. I will be very grateful for that. But thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that session. I do this every month, so I'm going to have another crypto webinar in about a month's time, another stock market webinar. Well, next stock market webinar is in about 20 minutes time. And I'll just try and give you as much good stuff as I can. Tools, news, anything that I think is going to help you out, I'll bring it to the session and kind of update you on what's happening and what I think of the markets. So thank you for joining me. Yeah, I can already see people giving me some South America advice, so thank you for that as well. Really appreciate it. And whatever you're doing over the summer, have a great time. And yeah, in UK, amazing weather at the moment as well. So if you're here, enjoy that. And I'll be speaking with you, well, quite a few of you in about 20 minutes time on the next webinar. So I'll say goodbye for now, and I will be back in about 20 minutes on the next link for the stock market summary. So I'll leave this question box up for a couple of minutes. I will speak with you very soon.